Nee.
For producer Rick Berman, the appeal of the film lies in the strength of its characters and the scope of its story.
I've always been fascinated with stories that start and then stop.
The story is a classic tale of good versus evil.
But we've got a tremendous group of people together and a wonderful story.
I think it's a good story.
We have a story that I think is somewhat epic in quality. It's a story that takes place in many different areas of our galaxy. It's a story that deals with 3 different men who are thinking about and or seeking immortality in entirely different ways. And it's a story that has a tremendous amount of humor to it. And a tremendous amount of action as well.
Quiet, please. Roll it. C marker. Action!
The major story deals with how we regard the time that we have here on this planet and what we leave behind us, which has a very strong emotional content.
I think people want to be associated with a team that's at the head of the pack. I know I do. And it's our objective to restore that superiority.
You cannot separate anything in this movie from the enjoyment aspect or the creative aspect without mentioning our director, Jonathan Frakes.
For his company, Avalon Productions, he has directed over 25 animal education videos.
It's an action-adventure movie.
Action!
It's a big action-adventure movie.
The action stuff, I think, will speak for itself.
With the PU at the moment.
It's a romance.
Return the sender.
That was a movie magic day. I'm very proud of it, and I think it's going to be well worth seeing.
He came from my sorrow.
The thing that is different about IMAX, and for me that is much more powerful and beneficial to the audience, is that they feel like they're in the place that the movie was made because it's wrapping around them.
Very good.
That worked great.
And so I like to give people films that they wouldn't be able to participate in on their own.
The actual IMAX camera that we normally use weighs a little over 100 pounds fully loaded.
Was one of the ones that became my most favorite.
I had to rethink filmmaking, almost every part of it, the pacing, panning, tilting, action, how fast action can move, where things should be in the frame.
He went to Nepal in 1995 to shoot some IMAX rolls and get a feel for it.
Sherpas carry the tons of equipment and supplies.
We had our exposed footage sent back weekly with yak herders in boxes.
Old boxer here is 38 years of age. Wonderful horse. 38.
It just never fails that right when something absolutely perfect is about to happen, we run out of film. I think there are gods up there that control that.
So you really do a lot of thinking before a shot.
Yeah, Brad, the problem is if it's a 100% better shot if they're side lit.
But you still didn't get what every cinematographer or director wants, which was to see the images yourself and decide, well, here's how I would reframe it.
This is the morning of the shoot.
The dangers of working on the precipice are made worse by the desert heat. It is over 110 degrees and shade is at a premium. The crew, numbered at over 50, is crowded on the tiny rock.
Rock face?
Rock face.
The slightest slip could mean disaster. The wind kicks up at a relentless 50 miles an hour, increasing the risk as well as the actor's discomfort.
When you like that for, 3 or 4 minutes, just getting one shot. Everybody then had to go take a nap for 2 hours. It was just so exhausting.
I became virtually certain that I was dead. Almost like I was just floating along the surface, and then I drifted away. I could see my family before me, and I knew that if I did not get up, I was going to spend eternity there.
Out of all this tragedy had come this little ray of hope, Someone had come back from the dead.
And at this point, the IMAX guys had come up, and they were putting their film at risk to help. My wife was told that I was dead, and there was no doubt. And a few hours later, the word came down that no, I wasn't dead. When he did this, there was no sense that people were going to notice this. He just did it because it was the right thing to do. And I think he did it because he does have a brave heart.
The production moved to the remote Nevada desert. Miles from civilization, this location doubled as the planet Viridian 3.
This is one of the most spectacularly beautiful and dramatic locations I've ever filmed in.
The actors shed their heavy costumes to block out the complex scene. This area of the desert is appropriately called the Valley of Fire, where cast and crew spent more than a week shooting under grueling conditions.
I was in the organization for 15 years, no problems at all, and one day a new manager came in and suddenly I couldn't do my job right anymore. Yes,